Have you caught your breath? Have you survived that? Have you been able to register how good that was? We're at the halfway point of the 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix, and 10 of the 15 riders have gone clear in the first round. The biggest class of the year at 1.65 m with 1.25 million euros on the line. 10 riders have gone clear. That sets it up remarkably for the upcoming second round later on tonight. The performances from these riders, from Simon de Lestre, who leads, all the way down to Jérôme Guéry and to Marco Kutscher. 11 riders, in fact, I believe, that have now gone on to jump clear in round one. What a performance, the last of which was Harry Smulders just a few moments ago behind us on the incredible Monaco jumping clear to round out the opening round. Let's show you the results then and put some numbers to the names. Let's give you some perspective as to what it looks like now at the halfway point of the 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. It's Simon de Lestre and Cayman Jolly Jumper who lead and will be last to go in tonight's second round. Just behind him will be Scott Brash and Emanuele Camille. What a performance from him. Gerrit Nieberg, the winner in Riesenberg. Christian Kuckuck and Shah George, who were the first out in round one, setting the pace and setting the tone with a clear round. What a performance from 19-year-old Anastasia Nielsen, an action man, like we saw in Rabat jumping clear. She goes in and does that exactly again here in Prague. Thibaut Philippots, another youngster, jumping superbly. How happy will he be with that? Harry Smulders and Abdel Said going on to jump clear. The clears don't end there, though, because Marco Kutscher and Jérôme Guéry are there on the next page. A handful of fours of Nicolas Philippots, Gilles Thomas and Gregory Cottard, and Philipp Weisselt and the young Kokomo, unfortunately, being eliminated after a few heavy crashes for the 9-year-old gelding. Philipp Weisselt, being the horseman that he is, put his hand up to the jury, said, "We live to fight another day." And unfortunately, there will be no second round then for the eliminated Philipp Weisselt. The weekend doesn't end there for him, of course, with a GCL Super Cup final to come tomorrow in Riesenbeck International. But tonight's focus remains on the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. We mentioned Christian Kuckuck, first man out the gate, along with Shah George. He set the pace, he set the tone with a clear. Let's hear from the German.
Christian, first in the arena, first to go clear. It couldn't have gone more to plan, surely. Give us what was going through your mind during the round.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, honestly, it's not always a pleasure to go in as a first rider, but I don't know, I kind of like it somehow, and I'm very happy with my round. I had a plan. Everything went actually according to that plan, so I was super happy with that clear round.
Where did you see the biggest challenges through the course? Not only when you walked it, but as you were jumping it as well. Where was most tricky for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's always difficult as the first one to say, but I thought that the course is a bit nicer than last night, actually. Yeah. I could see a little bit, or I could see a few more clears today. But still, you never really know. There was, for me, two options, whether I add a stride or I stay on the normal stride. And I added, actually. We have some tall verticals. Number 7 there in the corner, I thought was very tricky. My horse jumped it very well. The combinations are always tough, but he's a very good combination jumper, so I wasn't too worried about that. That's why I'm in general very happy, though.
Christian, good luck for the second round.
Thank you.
The thoughts of Christian Kuckuck following his opening clear with Shah George in round one, making sure that he will then go into that second round on a clear score. But as we said, there's been a handful of clears, 11 in fact out of the 15 that will now be looking for a double clear later on tonight. Christian Kuckuck and Shah George, the first of the lot. Plenty more reaction to look forward to and plenty more riders to hear from, including Scott Brash. So many people again talking about the importance, talking about the threat that Scott Brash offers. Hello, Shadora Lady, jumping clear. Let's hear from Scott Brash.
Scott, if there's one horse that is enjoying themselves in Prague, I think it's Hello Chedora Lady. Is she as much fun to ride as she seems to be having out in the course?
Yeah, she gets excited. Yeah, but she's great. She's always just wanting to get on with her job, basically.
In terms of how you saw the course and how it rode for you, you obviously walk it and you have certain thoughts, but you might have different thoughts when you're jumping over the fences. How did you see it overall?
Yeah, I think it rode as it walked there, and yeah, felt very good. She's pinging in there and feels more relaxed today. I had a nice workout with her earlier and feel like I've got her in a good place. She feels really good.
Not many faults so far in this first round. Obviously, that puts a little bit more pressure on for the second. What is your sort of plan, as it were, for the second round? What's the strategy to, you know, be as high up the standings as you can?
Clear and quick. say that's about it.
Scott, well done today. Good luck for round two.
Thanks.
Speed is generally never an issue when it comes to Scott Brasher's riding, so you expect him on that clear. Currently in second place, will be second last to go. We know that he is going to try and push the limits. He always does, and that is why he is the rider that he is and the threat that he is every single time. Now, Ed Holloway, James Fisher, our commentators tonight, have been calling the action in round one. I know they have plenty to say, lots to think back on. Let's talk, gentlemen. What a round one. No one was expecting that many clears. Let's talk about the course. Let's talk about the performance. And let's begin talking about the possibility of time in that second round. Ed, James, give me your thoughts.
Thank you, Mark. Yes, it's a big number, James. It's 11, but I can't feel that it is anything but exceptional sport. They jumped brilliantly. It was a massive course on walking. The performances, James, were dazzling.
We said, let's see how the first three jump gives us an idea. And the first three really were amazing. We had 2 clears out of 3, and they jumped phenomenal. And I think it was just lovely to see it all the way through. How much the horses enjoyed it, the quality that we've got, and it really sets it up nicely for the second round.
I don't like to remind us of our prediction. We said 5 would be the clear round count, but
we were being nice.
I don't think we were foolish, though. I just think the it's been so high. I think 5 is possible because it was a huge course, technically good.
That's right. You would never resent clears of height. You know, it's 160, 165. It's their big fences, and you know, you sort of think there's no way you're going to get 50%. So you come up. Think, you know, for anybody watching this, they think that's a lot, but how amazing the quality and the way it went. And we've got some slightly younger horses, and it's really nice to see them jump like that.
James, talking about standout performances, the round from Scott Brasher, and I loved Hello Chedora Ladies round.
Yeah, and considering what he's done for this show, he's saved it. He did half a round. It's so lovely to watch.
Anastasia Nielsen, James, was quite sensational. 19 years of age.
She was just tremendous, really, to go in there under this pressure. And she, you know, like she won, and it was a shock. She was the youngest ever winner in Rabat, but how amazing she rode. She never faltered, and yeah, it's brilliant for her, brilliant for her career going forward.
Marco Kucha was so smooth. Catelli just looked like it was a 140. I mean, it was that easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, he gave a masterclass, and you know, hardly broke sweat. Really, he's always been a tremendous rider, and I think this tonight reminds everybody of how good he is and what he's done in the past. And we always talk about Konrad Dubliński, and he rode some absolute legends in his time.
Gerrit Nieberg sat a 10-year-old. I mean, ping pong just exploded around again. James, so easy, so comfortable.
Yeah, he said that the crowd's going to fall in love with this horse. He's introduced it to Prague, and it really shone. It's a beautiful horse to watch, and Gerrit Nieberg gave it a great ride. They're a fantastic combination. They're probably the crowd's favourites.
Cayman Jolly Jumper, we know that again made the course look very easy, and that will be a fast combination.
Yeah, he was the only one there, but sort of mid-course there to take a stride out. Did a 6 on the 7, and the horse jumped maybe sort of 180 high. It was just tremendous, raw power, real freedom, and they were thrilled to bits with that. That was great, yeah.
And the last three, Thibaut Philipparts, that was a masterclass. 24, made it again look comfortable.
Yeah, great. Like tonight, he's leading the Philippart family. You know, they're a tremendous family, and he's the one who's really, you know, leading the way. He rode amazing. Yeah, he's got great personality, confidence, and you never know where it'll end tonight with that. But yeah, superb to see it.
And Emanuela Kimeli's 10-year-old Chaka perfect, and Harry Smulders a little rattle, or two actually rattles down through the launching treble. But again, Monaco, it's another clear round.
Yeah, Monaco, but he did do the rattle. But Chacarino, PS, absolutely jumped amazing, and it was one perhaps we weren't really pointing out, and it was a substitute for this tonight. But when you look at the way it jumped, it was tremendous. That is a cracking horse. Shaka Blue again, with so many, you know, similar stallions here through this week. But the Paul Chocomala stables have certainly got some nice horses in here.
Thank you, James. It's been brilliant. Mark, well, what a first round. We can't wait to see how this one plays out. Thank you, Mark.
Right, Ed, James, thank you very much, gentlemen. Your commentators in the Longines Global Champions to a Super Grand Prix, giving us some perspective, giving us some thoughts on what has taken place in that opening round. 11 out of 15 clear. Philippe Weishout retiring. Gregory Cottard, Gilles Thomas, and Nicolas Philipparts on fours. And everyone from then up finds themselves on a clear. It includes Abdel Said, two-time LGCT Grand Prix winner of Doha. It includes a three-time LGCT Grand Prix winner in Harry Smulders. Thibaut Philipparts, outstanding in New York. Anastasia Nielsen, the youngest ever Longines Global Champions to a Grand Prix winner in Rabat. It includes Christian Kuckuck, Gerrit Nieberg from the Riesenbeck LGCT, Emanuela Kimeli, Dan Strange from Mexico City, Scott Brash, who has won too many LGCT Grand Prix to count. I think he's on 13, if I recall. And it starts with Simon de Lestre, who will be the last man to go on Cayman Jolly Jumper. Talk to me about what you were hearing in the background. What was Kiss and Cry telling you? What were you hearing behind the gates at the end of that opening round?
Kiss and Cry was one of the most fun experiences of my broadcasting career tonight, bar none. The emotion, the happiness, because so many of these riders were achieving. Philippe Bertol, the owner of Cayman Jolly Jumper, stood out to me literally as we were about to go live. He just sort of exploded with, we're in the lead, at me, and the horse jumped phenomenally. And what they know, A, that horse can jump clear again, and B, that horse doesn't go slow. So that's a bonus. Marina Nielsen, a very, very happy mum. Anastasia doesn't seem to have anything.
I was going to say, the Nielsen camp and the Kiss and Cry exploded as well. Can you imagine, at 19 years of age, you go on to win on the Longines Global Champions Tour a few stages ago. You get this remarkable golden ticket to come and compete here. And with these riders around you, you jump clear in round one, Dan.
She's unfazable. Anastasia Nielsen is just unfazable. She just steps into the biggest stage, and it's like she's sort of jumping 40 centimetres back at Pony Club. There doesn't seem to be anything that she fears. Gerrit Nieberg's another one a little bit like that. It took Ping Pong watching his horse 3-4 fences to really get into it. He nearly had one down in the first 3 or 4. Once he got over those, once he got over the double, Ping Pong came alive and really started jumping nicely. And Gerrit spoke to me a few moments ago, was really full of confidence.
A couple of rubs as well. Harry Smulders having a few rubs, especially in this triple combination that's just alongside us here. Sometimes the luck is on your side and those fences stay up and you find yourself jumping out of a clear. And sometimes, unfortunately, the fences don't fall their way. Speaking of Anastasia Nielsen, you mentioned the trainer, you mentioned the coach. Let's get some thoughts then from the Nielsen camp to react to that wonderful clear from Anastasia in round one.
Is there anything that Anastasia Nielsen can't do? Because for the first time in an LGCT Super Grand Prix, that was about as good a round as you could have.
Yeah, she's amazing. For a girl of just 19 years old, she's very calm head, able to execute her plan, stays focused, stays in the moment, and couldn't ask any more from the rider and from the horse.
When you watch the round and thinking towards round two, obviously she's sat in, what, 6th place, around there. What was your advice, or what's been your advice for round two?
Well, we have to see what is going to be built. I would imagine it's going to be very big again, and obviously most people will be going fast, trying to be as quick as they can. We have to see what they build and how it suits our horse, and we know our horse very well. We know what will go as fast as we can, but all within the boundaries of what we think suits the horse.
Cameron, good luck for the rest of the evening. It's an amazing story.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right, just trying to keep an eye on what's happening here with these scores. The Anastasia Nielsen camp there giving us some thoughts and some reaction. Let's remind you before we get ready for the build-up to the second round later on tonight, exactly how things stand now at the end of the first round. As mentioned, Simon Delestre, Cayman Jolly Jumper lead the way. They'll be last to go of the only 14 riders that will come out in that second round because of the retirement of Philip Weishout. He now leads in first place. As said, he will then be last to go. That is Simon Delestre. Scott Brash just behind him in second place. Emanuele Cameli, Gerrit Nieberg, and Christian Kukuk and Shah George in fifth. We mentioned Anastasia Nielsen and Thibaut Philipparts, the two youngsters back-to-back. Harry Smolders in Monaco, still many people's favourites, will be mid-table, while Abdel Said and Boni Ami will come slightly after that. Jérôme Guéry, Marco Kutscher, Nicolas Philipparts, Gilles Thomas, the 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour season winner, will be shortly after that. And then the first man out in round two on Cocaine Duval will be Gregory Cottard. The Frenchman will open up that second round. We'll give you a moment to catch your breath, to grab a drink and come straight back and get ready for the build-up to the second round here at the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix.
In his young career, he won the four-star Grand Prix.